This is the video on money and how money can be scaled towards actually what you need and to serve the organizations and the relationships that you're a part of. Of course, when it comes to money, it's such a loose concept. We have things like currencies to consider, and then we've also got things such as how do we keep money? We've got banks for that. And how do we generate it? We've got work. So the work to generate the currency in the bank to store it. Then of course, our favorite part, how we spend it. That is one of the most critical aspects in my discussion. How we spend it influences the cyclic nature of it and the sustainability of it. Are we in cycles of joy, spending our money on things that make us joyful, to feel inspired, to make more joy, to make more money through joy, to joyfully store it for a joyful expense, continuing the cycle, just like that. Of course, this video already assumes that you have everything it takes to have the amount of money that it is that you require. One thing that I'd like to look at is how we can really tighten up and to stop the leaks, so we have a tight knit, and so the stream is constantly flowing in the direction that we'd like to. And I think that is the most important thing when it comes to money. That is how we protect what is already our given right. The reason why I say it's a given right is anything that you like is money. Anything that you can see can be monetarily quantified in some market. So that being said, there's always a market for what it is that you identify as money, or just what you like in general. So how do we actually tighten it up and wrap it up so we can deliver that to somebody who also recognizes it and appreciates the package that you've given them through its aesthetic, through its symbolism, through its design, and through the status that person would like to achieve, through what you've shared with them, through what you've given them. And that ultimately really determines the quality and the quantity of what it is that you have as money. Of course, you being the deliverer, you being the manager, you being the boss, you definitely are money in yourself. So how you actually bridge your time and your attention quantifies your monetary value in that particular industry. How much level of detail? People will pay for detail. So the more detailed you are in your conveying that level of value with someone, the more they would be obliged to pay for that specific thing. So definitely taking pride in what we deem to be of value in our lives, and taking pride in how we communicate that with other people is the one-to-one ratio, where the sum of that is always going to be money. So of course we scale that according to what our desires are. I'm a firm believer of being present, being in the moment, and that the journey is more important than the destination. At the same time, I'm also a person that lives in the end. I like to start with the point that I'd like to be at. I'd like to start with the object of my desire, so that can inform what I need to do in order to get there. And it's also going to determine how much resources I need to adjust and scale, whether it's material and human capital, people that are going to help me along my journey to getting what it is that I desire. So of course, that it being, for instance, a autumn holiday along the coast, I know what the budget for that is, and I need to determine what it is that my expenses are going to require. From there, I'm able to then make a list of what bankable assets I have and how to then translate that into people, exchanges of goods and services, in order for me to meet that goal. So of course there's that aspect of it, and then there's the aspect of just you being, because I like to think that at any given point of time, you have literally, you can't really measure. You have the most amount of money. You are the most abundant. You are the most prolific person, always. So when I speak about money, it's always from a sense of, a descent. As you're thinking about, okay, when you start the day in the morning, when you're thinking about what it is that you need and you require, you're an eagle perched up on a nest. So from there, you descend to swoop in to get your prey. But definitely, you being the apex, you are above. So that bird's eye view, that bird's eye view is important to know that you are actually in control. You are leading. You are guiding. You have to have that perspective. From there, it is then more of an engagement of confidence, of mastery, of refinement, when looking at money. It's just then using what I've been speaking about in terms of using your faculties of attention and your time to make that business transaction. It's a matter of using your communication to make appointments, to set dates. It's a matter of you knowing your nature of generosity, to always feel like you have more to share than you can think, because the same thing in all of us that allows us to actually build and accumulate, it's part of our DNA. It's in our stitching. So it's just a matter of knowing yourself. It's a matter of feeling yourself, you have to, be whew, and know that everything that you do, there is value in that. Communicate it, share it, and also open yourself up to receive. Ooh, that is something that deserves a sip of tea. When you're thinking about receiving, you can make and give, but you also have to be able to allow yourself to receive money, and that comes with reflection. I did mention self-knowledge, so knowing yourself and knowing what you're more attracted to and knowing what you have an affinity for. So being able to actually recognize opportunities to receive, being able to recognize opportunities for people to give you what you want, and to feel your sense of worth and deserving of what it is that you seek, feeding into the cycle of your money economy, your finance, just being blended with the people around you and the things in your life. Definitely that is where you are in terms of your money consciousness. It's just being aware of all the streams and the circular nature of different industries, because definitely money, as much as it's a universal concept, when you start thinking about it on a strategic, on a economic point of view, it's more about what you're into and what it is that you'd like to manage. So, that being said, be very clear about what it is that you'd like to receive, what you'd like to make, and also just be focused on opening yourself up to the unknown. There might be some aspects of your money consciousness that are unconscious, but definitely true to you. So open up your heart to actually be authentic, to be genuine, as to allow yourself to be in line